Hello and welcome. I'm Abyss from Killjoy Gaming, and today, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that we have hit 21 subscribers. When we hit 30, there will be a Discord for everyone. Now, with that out of the way, I have one more announcement before we get into today's deck demo, and that is if this video receives 5 likes or I get 1 new subscriber, we will have a Halloween video as my treat to you. But if that does not happen, I will ghost you on Monday, and that'll be my trick. With that bad pun, you can guess what deck's coming up on Monday if we do make it. Let's get on with the deck profile. Today we are doing something I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Phantasmal Spiral. And wow, we are in the wrong spot. That's better. As I was saying, Phantasm Spiral. Disclaimer, most of the extra deck is fodder, so they will not be included with the CP totals. Well, other than the one extra deck monster that counts. If you're looking at the core of this deck, you will be spending 30 URCP on Terraforming because you need to find that field spell. Pacifist makes the deck tick, and without it, the deck does not function. Next, for SRCP, you are looking at 150, and that is for 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance, 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity, pretty standard consistency pieces, and then 2 copies of Skill Drain. Yes, we are a Skill Drain deck. I hate it. Next, for rare CP, we are looking at 240 to 360 for 3 Planet Pathfinders. We really need that field spell, which is up next, Pacifist, the Phantasm City. And then you can run 1 to 3 copies of Fist the Unrivaled Tenyi, because it's an Omni, and the target, if it's destroyed face down, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yes, you get to be Kaiba's little big dragon today. Next, on to the normal CP, you are looking at 270 to 300, that being 3 copies of Sea Stealth Attack, 2 to 3 copies of Phantasm Spiral Power, 3 copies of Phantasm Spiral Battle, and then 1 copy of Phantasm Spiral Grip. Now, my list uses 180 URCP, 240 SRCP, 420 rare CP, and 390 normal CP. And with that, I would like to go through my deck profile. Now, as you just need normal monsters, it really doesn't matter what you run. I'm running a 1 Megalo Smasher X because it has the biggest defense, and then 3 Frostosaurus. The 3 Frostosaurus is strange, but I'll explain that later on. And then 1 copy of Phantasm Spiral Dragon, the monster this deck is centered around, because you can special summon it off of many things in this deck. Next, we're running 2 copies of Max C, 2 copies of Ash Blossom. It's the Master Dual Attacks, no explanation needed. Next, we're running 3 copies of Planet Pathfinder. You contribute this card to add 1 field spell from your deck to your hand, that being the big boy Pacifist. Then we're running 1 copy of Terraforming, again to Surge Pacifist. 1 copy of Fossil Day, which can either get Frostosaurus or your 1 copy of Megalo Smasher X, depending on what your fancy is. Your 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance and 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity. This needs no introduction, as it is some of your biggest consistency pieces of the deck. Next, we're running 3 copies of Fish Sonar. You can add 1 level 7 or lower from your deck to your hand that mentions Yumi or is a normal water monster. The thing I told you to ignore last time? Yeah, no, you're not ignoring it this time. And if Yumi is on the field, which Pacifist is always treated as Yumi, you can special summon 1 water normal monster from your deck. You can only activate 1 Fish Sonar per turn, that being anything in your deck, and usually it's going to be Pacifist the Spiral Dragon. Next, we're running 1 copy of Phantasm Spiral Grip, equipped only to a normal monster, against 500 attack. When the equipped monster shows an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 1 Phantasmal Spiral Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard and equip it to this card, then inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect of Phantasm Spiral Grip once per turn. Another way to get your Phantasm Spiral Dragon to the field from your deck, but also you can get it from your graveyard as recovery later, which is why we run one of them. Next, we're running 3 copies of the field spell Pacifist the Phantasm City. As I said before, this is always treated as Yuumi. You cannot normally special summon effect monsters the turn you activate either of these cards' effect, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if you normal special summon exactly 1 normal monster and no other cards, add 1 Phantasm Spiral card from your deck to your hand. It does not specify whether it is spell, monster, or one of the traps. If your opponent activates a card or effect except during the damage step and you control no tokens, you can special summon 1 Phantasm Spiral token, which is a Worm Water level 8 with 2000 attack, 2000 defense. The level will matter later. Next, we're running 2 copies of Dimension Fissure. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. We are a control deck. We do not want our opponents to be graveyard centric, so we run 2 of these. 2 copies of Sea Stealth 2. This card becomes Yuumi while in the graveyard and on the field. Again, we do need Yuumi. We would prefer the field spell, but this is a backup. Your opponent cannot target water monster you control with non-water monster effects. At the start of the battle phase, you can special summon from your hand or graveyard 1 monster that mentions Yuumi or 1 water normal monster in defense position but destroyed at the end of the battle phase. You can only use this effect of Sea Stealth 2 once per turn. Great way for putting up trump blockers. Next, we're running 3 copies of Phantasm Spiral Battle. If all monsters you control are normal, minimum of 1 target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. If Yuumi is on the field, you can activate this card from your hand. Banish the card from your graveyard to target 1 normal monster you control and equip that normal monster with a Phantasm Spiral equipped spell card. You control that can equip to it. Next, you're running 2 copies of Phantasm Spiral Power. If all monsters you control or monsters target 1 effect monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn, it loses 1000 attack and defense. Also, its effects are negated. If Yuumi is on the field, you can activate this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your hand and target 1 of your normal monsters you control. Equip 1 Phantasm Spiral equipped spell from your hand or graveyard to that normal monster. Next, we're running 1 copy of Kairyu-shin Dark Reef. Send 1 face-up Yuumi you control the graveyard, special summon up to 2 monsters with different names from your hand and or deck that mention Yuumi or are water normal monsters in defense position. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon any number of level 6 or lower water normal monsters from your hand or deck until the end of your next turn. After this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except for water monsters. You can only activate 1 of these cards per turn. Now this is how we flood the field with Frostosaurus. When your opponent has 1 monster and we flip up Kairyu-shin of Dark Reef, we flood the field with Frostosaurus and OTK. Or attempt to. Next, we're running 1 copy of Fist of the Rival 10. Yeah, I probably should be running more of this, but I'm not. When a spell or trap or a monster effect is activated, you control a face-up non-effect monster and negate the activation. If the set card is destroyed by an opponent's card or effect, you can special summon 1 non-effect monster from your extra deck, aka Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. The big beefy boy himself. Next, we're running 2 copies of Skill Drain. You know, we're running normal monsters. We need to stop effects. Next, you're running 3 copies of Stealth Attack. When this card is activated, you can activate 1 Yuumi from your hand or graveyard while Yuumi is faced on the field. Gains these effects. Once per turn, you can banish 1 water monster you control until the end phase. This turn, face up, spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, even if this card leaves the field. At the start of the damage step, if your water monster whose original level is 5 or higher by the opponent's monster, destroy that monster. That's why the level 8 tokens matter so much. And then, yeah, 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. With that out of the way, this deck is hit or miss. Either your opponent has the out or they do not. So we'll be showing a 5 replays instead of the normal 3. Both wins and losses. Alright, here we go. First one is a loss. You'll see a reoccurring theme with this. Without the field spell, we are a sitting duck. Also, things with targeting protection are very hard for this deck to out. Same with destruction immunity. But targeting is a lot worse. We're going to start by activating Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6. We want to go digging. We opt to take the D5, which in my opinion, or hindsight I should say, was not smart. We activate Pacifist the Phantasm City, set a Sea Stealth, activate DeFi, and then activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Yeah. This deck's one weakness. A singular Harpy's Feather Duster. And just spell and trap removal in general. But when this deck pops off, it pops off. Usually I don't get to show the OTK aspect of this, and you will not see it today because most people scoop when they see control. Again, we fire off Proudest Prosperity. For only having one, it seems to be glued to my hand a lot of the times. Seeing that skill drain, we opt to take it. We're gonna normal summon Panda Pathfinder, get us the Pacifist the Phantasm City, activate it, and then end there. They're gonna activate trade into draw 2, pitching a Thunderbird. Knowing that, we activate skill drain immediately because this card can destroy set cards when pitched. Then we will activate Pacifist, grabbing ourselves Destruction. They are going to kaiju us. We are going to max C them. They're going to special summon Doggeran, activate Interrupted Kaiju Slumber for who knows why. We are going to draw again. They are going to banish 5 from their extra, get Eater of Millions, normal summon Grand Maju, then activate the Bigfoot in their hand to destroy our skill drain. Then they will go into a relinquished Anima, suck up their Kaiju, and realize I can activate my cards again. Batch 3. I don't know what's up with people and hating fighting this deck, but it's very, very hit or miss, I hate to say. Alright, this is a pretty okay hand. We're going to activate Proudest Prosperity, of course. Banish our 6. They are going to max C. I laugh in their face because they think I'm going to normal summon or special summon a lot. Okay, we see the Sea Stealth. We're going to go for the Sea Stealth attack. Activate Pacifist the Phantasm City, set Sea Stealth. They are going to activate Despia Theater of the Branded. I'm going to activate Sea Stealth attack in response. Then Pacifist the Phantasm City triggers. I get a token, level 8. I get to add a second Phantasmal Spiral Battle. They're going to activate Dark Lord each to draw 2. They are then going to activate Reasoning, which I call 4. And I hit it. It goes to the grave. They're going to set 2. I'm going to destroy their Necrofusion and their Forbidden Droplet, and they are going to scoop it up there. Now this one, this man had all the outs. I mean, all of them. Again, I'm going to start by activating Pot of Prosperity for 6. Seeing the Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi, we opt for it. We're going to normal summon Planet Pathfinder, tribute it for the field spell. We're going to activate Pacifist Phantasm City and set Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi as insurance. They're going to activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Wipe my spell and traps. This is the Unrivaled 10. I'm going to special summon a Blue Eyes, Ultimate Dragon, and Sacrifice. They activate Lightning Storm. Yeah. When they have it, they have it. And finally, the reason we are in casual, by the way, and not ranked is because I do not have faith in this deck. Not even in the slightest. It's not terrible. I'm just a terrible pilot with it, probably. We're gonna fire off that Pot of Extravagance. It is messed with an Ash Blossom. And then we're going to activate Pass the Phantasmal City and activate Fish Sonar, getting a Frost Source to our hand. And then special summoning our Phantasm Spiral Dragon, adding Phantasm Spiral Battle. They're going to activate Chaos Space. We are completely and utterly fine with that. Gonna get the Chaos Creator. We're gonna get a token. And then we're gonna grab Phantasm Spiral Power. They're gonna normal summon Neo Space Connector, which we meet with a negate. I felt like they were gonna Aqua Dolphin us, and I don't like that. They're gonna summon Almirage, realize we can still activate something, and they're gonna pass. Yeah. All in all, I don't know how I feel about this deck. It's definitely not worthy of the Gear Town treatment. But with that being said, either 5 likes or 1 new subscriber, you get a Halloween special. If not, I will see you next Friday, and I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.